Oh, Hachi Machi. It must be in every other Tuesday in Delaware County because we're Delco and we're Delco Live. Happy February 28th. It's almost St. Patrick's season tomorrow. And you can find some shirts that are badass as hell for you to wear on any of your drunk bus trips or just shenanigans. St. Patrick's Day is a Friday this year. Oh, what's that one? Kiss Me Up with Delco. Oh, my goodness. We'll get into why syphilis is spreading in this area at a rapid pace. And this shirt is not going to help because it will get people action. Oh, you like that? The original plan for this is actually the Italian flag or a Polish flag, since everyone who claims he's super Delco Irish is just like, yeah. My one aunt's grandfather's cousin is from Scotland. So, yeah, Irish. Aaron go bra. Top of the McDade to you.
Top of the McDade to
we
you.
got we got all sorts of stories to cover from the last fortnight. That's 14 days. Don't get excited, Spaz.
All right.
I can hear a splish
here. Did I just hear an Xbox turn on?
I should have that on.
We'll be getting to those, but first we got to tell you about the people who keep us in business.
All right, let's start with David R. Cherry, the man, the myth, the legend, workers' comp, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law, cherryinjurylaw.com, or call Dave at 610-565-0300. Once again, the number is 610-565-0300.
Now, just to jump in on the David R. Cherry train, this is yet another holiday that falls on a Friday, so you don't want to get arrested on St. Patrick's Day because you're not going to get out of jail or be able to call David R. Cherry till the following Monday. This year's very bad with Friday holidays, so, try to keep your whistle clean, but always remember 610-565-0300 if you get one call.
And you know what? Best way of celebrating your favorite Irish holiday, fatcowjerky.com. Nothing says Irish like Fat Cow Jerky. Go to fatcowjerky.com, follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Get one of these many delicious flavors, as well as get your favorite treat for your favorite pet at fatcowjerky.com.
Man, that's a rainbow that ends in a pot of bold, Al.
And Dolan is the most Delco bar still running. 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley
Why
Park.
does PJ look like he went to the same tanning salon as Donald Trump?
That is PJ on the news. That was when he was on CNN or something like that.
Oh, he definitely tans.
Or
Probably
Fox
spray
News.
tans.
That's a sign of jaundice.
Just as balls up. Go to dolansbar.com. Check out Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the Tickety Talk. Quizzo music.
Do we not have another picture of PJ?
Your balls are showing.
That was the best I had.
I like it.
And great memorabilia giveaway and so much other things going on with Dolan's. You never know you're going to walk into dolansbar.com.
My God. So let's get into it.
Good tweet, man.
The tweet, Al. The tweet.
To the tweet?
Ah.
To the tweet.
Let's get into it, Daddy.
To the tweet. To the tweet. Tweet.
Take me to your tweeter.
All right. This resurfaced. This is a tweet from 2000 that for some reason has found its way back into people's sharing profiles. And everyone's just like, oh my God, this is so profound. It's someone named Max, and of course, the fitting name, Max on Twitter. The quality of Wawa has dropped to near 7-Eleven levels over the last 5 years. Let's date that back to 2015. And nobody wants to admit it. Okay, Max. In 2020, we were already 17 years into literally acknowledging how bad Wawa has gotten. It goes back to it all started when they got rid of the deli. We can all agree to that, right? That was
You mean the fresh cut meats?
Yeah.
It's pretty sad when you get upset when they're not baking bread on premises anymore. Like, we were happier when the bread was made somewhere else.
Yeah, it literally comes down to that was the downfall of it. And it's not just a nostalgia thing. It actually was better quality back then. Like, you can go order something today and jump in a time machine and go back to 2003, even 2004. They didn't phase them out of all. And you can get the same ham sandwich, whatever you can get.
What you call me?
What? And it's going to be quality. It's not a 5 years thing. It's not when they started baking rolls on premise. And like someone said, you don't go there for a hoagie. You don't go there, whatever.
Sure.
But what's the date? What's the date on it? What's the date on when they stopped? A roundabout date.
2003.
2003.
Which, by the way, I had to bring it up. I had to bring it up.
So
Wawa did so good at hiding that date online because they don't want people to even. They took down pictures.
They don't want something. They don't want somebody to find.
Is there a cover up? Is there a cover up?
They don't want people
For
to.
whitewashing,
It's like
Chris.
it's like how if you go in a German history book, like 1933 through 1945 is
They're all
missing.
nothing then. They're all
Like
asleep.
Wawa denies the existence that they even had like fresh meats at one point.
Oh my gosh, they got rid of all the meats and erased the
So
history of their meats.
hold on.
People don't
Let
forget.
me get this straight. Let me
They
whoa,
eradicated
let's back this up for a second. So you're telling me that it's not natural.
something.
It's not natural
Something here.
that the meats have little pieces of paper in front. Like the animals don't have slices of paper in front of them, so when they cut them up, this isn't natural.
You should not be legally calling them meats. Remember Wawa?
It's
Or,
like KFC. It's like you can't call it chicken anymore.
no, like Taco Bell when they were just like, look, you have to have at least 79% meat to call it meat, and they're like, fine, we'll up it 19%. We finally sell meat now.
Is Wawa knowingly hiding this information?
They don't
Is
want
this
people
what-
to like remember the days before.
Wow.
The good old days. When
Is
things
is
are
that
rich,
is
they're
that
not young children?
is that when they did away with the chili cheese dogs too?
They still have that, don't they?
You have to get the hot dog and then go ask them to put the chili on it, but do they have chili anymore?
I don't even. I don't think they.
I think it's kind of like soup.
They had the
have it on certain
cheese,
days.
the melted
Yeah.
cheese.
They do have the cheese.
They have that still.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they do.
I haven't had that in forever.
Let me tell you right now. I'll give Wawa props where Wawa's due. And a hot dog at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. when you're freaking schmammered, that thing's like,
Oh, their stuff's fine when you're hammered.
yeah. That glizzy's off the hizzy from Shizzy.
But like someone's saying you don't go there for a hoagie, like don't trash it. I'm like, they're like grab and go stuff is getting worse by the week.
Yes.
Like number one.
Hold on. Anything grab and go is not getting better. Can we all agree to that?
Like the
I
rab,
have to get
I'm not
mine.
just saying Wawa. Like you can go to Acme and they have like a little grab and go section of like
That's just disgusting.
of hoagies and.
do they know?
whatever.
Like, is that like a thing where they're just like, oh, we know these people are lazy. Let's just give them the worst. Let the piggies eat their filth.
Probably.
Like they don't want to wait. They don't want to pay the extra money. Let the piggies just go in their sty and eat their slop.
My
Give me
standards
my
aren't
slop.
high.
Oh well, you hang out with us. We never
My
even thought you-
standards aren't
I don't
high.
even think you can spell the word standard.
There's
Standards.
there's some stuff that's all right. I mean,
I-
it's never going to be the way it was,
I assume,
but it's not all terrible.
This is not something that started in 2015.
I've assumed that your husband allows you to hang out with us because it just makes him look that much better. Like he goes, yeah, go hang out with those ugly assholes.
We'll talk about why he allows me to hang out.
Oh, it's not the free sex.
It's not.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Next, speaking of free sex,
Wait a minute though. There was somebody who brought up dirty gas. I didn't even know that was a thing. Now Wawa has dirty
Wow.
this
gas.
seems like an old wives' tale.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think
everything's
so.
cut now. Like it's 10% ethanol in it, and whatever else.
Okay.
They're trying to spread it out.
You know what else is usually watered down? Cocaine.
No, it's detergents that will break down like your car quicker. You know what I mean? Or jam it all up.
So, are you trying to tell me that Wawa has a conspiracy going on with the motor
They're
vehicle?
putting-
Hey,
They
after
left
they
it in the
eradicated all their
office.
deli meats and wiped the history of it, I don't put anything.
I think
past
there's definitely, big convenience is a thing.
Big convenience.
Yeah, big convenience.
Like State
Big
Farm.
things.
Why is Royal Farms all of a sudden here? And we were just like, oh, we got it. And it was like just enough pressure to put people on, like, enjoy your Wawa.
Yeah,
Go
totally.
back to Wawa. And then we make it bad and we send it down to Baltimore. And when they're done murdering each other, they just go, oh,
They become
I don't want to have Royal Farms again.
They become the deli meats.
Yeah.
It's full circle.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's not making sense.
Listen, I'll just tell you right now, if it's dead people in the breakfast burrito, I'm cool with it.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
delegate.
The thing. And
Should we do that? Should we start like a whole thing called Delegate where we go like, Wawa, why have you covered up any existence of there actually being fresh foods at one point?
We
I think you
deserve
just
to
did.
know. We
Like when you
deserve
type
to
it in, like the first things are Wawa answers, them trying to cover it up, and you have to go into like Reddit, and it'll still be like a little bit iffy about just like that picture. Like you just feel like the picture's gonna get taken down. It just sucks. Like there was cameras before 2003, right?
I think
Like
so.
there should be pictures of these things existing. in
tiny
Wawas.
little bit itty bitty ones.
The
but yeah.
Polaroids, some flip phone action. There should be more photos.
iPhone was 2007, right?
Oh yeah, but that wasn't the first to take a picture.
So
Hold on. Ian's saying when Sheets comes into Delco, then Wawa will step it up. Why?
Royal
Why?
Farms didn't
I-
learn them. They both got worse.
They've gone into their area and haven't changed. I mean, they've gone down to Florida.
I don't
haven't
find
changed.
You'd think competition would like bring the best out, but I don't, because I passed the new first time the new Wawa train station.
yeah.
They're bigger than
Yeah.
the Hoagies, really.
Yeah.
I don't think Hoagies is what's making them their money. You know what I mean? It's all like
No, it's gas. I
yeah,
think.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Guys,
Definitely
I
not
want to
six gas.
congratulate Holbrook. By the way, I've never even thought about doing that. His autobiography is killing it right now. Cocaine
really
Bear.
inspired.
Cocaine Bear
It's,
is.
It's a biography of my time. I used to spend a lot of gay clubs.
Mm.
They had the cocaine. I was the bear. It was a great time. And of course, they gave it
Alright.
the most Delco ratings, a 6 out of 10, which is number one. When this thing broke news that it was being made on like IMDb, the write up and the pictures were just like, this
Get
is
in
going to be the
line.
greatest fucking what
Get in line.
for what?
It's just the tagline is "Get in
Oh
line."
my god, really?
It's awesome. I just noticed.
It looked like this is going to be like some amazing horror story where like a bear on cocaine is hunting you down as a super apex predator.
that. Yeah.
I actually knew this because it was in some like thing about like fascinating facts or whatever, and I thought it was gonna be some horror story and it was gonna be amazing, and then it ends up it's like Harold and Kumar go to Clifton, and
It's like a
shitty CGI bear running around with a bunch of shitty comedians.
It's pretty much a mixture of horror and comedy.
One of the main cast members is that fucking viral comedian that
Mr.
talks
Beast?
about how much he hates IKEA.
Oh.
Hmm?
Huh?
You know the guy who's
The
just
guy on
like,
TikTok.
you think you hate it here? I work here.
Oh yeah.
And like they play the ominous music behind it.
I pretty much hire anybody who would be willing to star in a movie for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
knowing that making $1 million on this movie would be breaking the bank. Like,
You
would be-
would have taken a role if they offered it to you in Cocaine Bear.
I would have been Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
I'm buying a
None of us are
Cocaine Bear
turning that
shirt.
down.
So we wanted a horror story, it looked like a horror story, and now it's just a shitty version of whatever. It's based on a true story, but not like the shenanigans they have.
Wow. Guess what the budget for Cocaine Bear was?
16 million.
Higher.
What?
Yeah.
23.
million?
Oh, I was going to get 23.
Ray,
Huh?
Ray Liotta probably made 16 million.
Is he in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's directed by
Did he die? How did he do
Yeah.
that?
Really?
it's directed
Oh.
by
Too
Elizabeth
much
Banks.
cocaine.
Yeah. A bear on cocaine.
I was-
No, he did one. He did one other movie. I think that's probably still coming out. It's yet to come out or something.
Yeah, but here's the true story. September 11th, 1985.
Man, everything happens on that day.
I know. They were way ahead of the curve. They were doing crazy things. This is actually the Cocaine Bear, and we'll get to why it looks like this. Leschian
his hat.
Kentucky Police Department narcotics officer turned a drug smuggler. Oh, so yeah, this is a dicey story. A cop in Kentucky became a drug smuggler. His name is Andrew C. Thornton. He was trafficking cocaine from Colombia to the USA. After dropping off a shipment in Blairsville, Georgia, Thornton and an accomplice departed a self-piloted Cessna Titan. It's a small plane.
Mhm.
En route, the duo dropped a load of 40 plastic containers of cocaine into the wilderness before abandoning the plane above Knoxville, Tennessee. Thornton was killed when his parachute failed to open. According to the FBI, Thornton dumped the cargo because the load of the two men plus the amount of cocaine was too heavy for the plane. On
Sounds like a Porto.
On December 23rd, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation reported finding a dead black bear that had eaten a large amount of cocaine from the jettisoned containers. The containers held about 75 pounds of cocaine, valued at $2 million. And by the time the scene was studied by government authorities, all the containers had been ripped open with their contents scattered. The chief medical examiner from the Georgia State Crime Lab stated that the bear's stomach was literally packed to the brim with cocaine, although he estimated the bear had absorbed only 3 to 4 grams in its bloodstream before it died.
Yeah.
A taxidermy person took the bear. You can put that picture back up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stuffed it
So good to me.
and put a fucking ranger hat on it.
I like
that
the
is
hat.
the actual cocaine.
So wait, did the bear actually go on a rampage?
And, well,
Did
we
it-
don't
did it
know,
actually hurt people.
but for a while, it was the ultimate apex predator on this planet.
Yeah,
A
but it
bear
kept
on
bumming
cocaine.
cigarettes off of people. Wouldn't stop talking about its business ventures.
Instead of
couldn't
its
chew you right, its jaw kept sliding back and forth.
instead of its fun hat that it's wearing,
I love the hat.
if it was from Delco, what would it be wearing if we stuffed a taxidermy cocaine bear?
Oh, it would shave a weird chin strap
Yeah.
beard.
Southeast
They would
Delco.
tell you how if it wasn't for politics, he would have been, all pro on his football high school team.
It would somehow be wearing on all 4 paws socks with sandals,
Yes.
Slides.
Nike socks and Jordan sandals.
It would have 4 tattoos, 3 on one arm of his 3 kids, and the other one is his current girlfriend's kid's name on it until he crosses out and gets his next
And then
girlfriend's
one
kid
would
on
be
it.
spelled wrong, and it'd probably be like Obey spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Dumping his money in skill machines.
I think it's funny that everyone said, "Is this bear from Clifton?" And I forgot that we literally had a little black bear that lived in
Yeah.
Clifton for a couple days
Sure.
recently.
That bear was the most popular thing from Clifton for the longest time.
Yeah.
Next to Cinderella.
Yeah.
See that picture,
Yeah.
eh?
Next we have positive news, or remotely positive news.
Well, which one? Is it the one
Jim
with
Haley.
Oh, okay.
Jim Haley, yes, he played for Upper Darby Little League and spent time in Upper Darby. Calm your fucking tits. We just went with Lansdowne because, according to the goddamn official minor league baseball and MLB page and Phillies page, his birthplace is listed as Lansdowne. And
But even the people fighting have gone back. It's been Lansdowne, East Lansdowne, it's been Upper Darby, and it's been Drexel Hill. Pick one. Same lane.
Exactly. Well, I'm just going to read the write up because I was angry when I wrote this.
I like
And that's, by the way, the most Delco of scores from the
and
other
even
night.
if we wanted to get into it, there is a disputed area of Lansdowne that's part of Upper Darby School District, and it wouldn't matter. He went to Bonner anyway, and St. Lawrence apparently. And also, do you not think we proofread like before we post to 20,000 people? We're not
No.
like one of these fucking weird sites that just
You
rip
have to
us
tell
off the
good
whole
times.
time. We actually check shit. He just turned 28 last week. He was a 2016 19th round pick by the Rays out of Penn State. Went to Bonner and St. Lawrence. According to the Delaware County, he has 98 brothers and sisters and 197,000 first cousins.
Sounds right.
They also must have moved around a lot because everybody was his neighbor.
Everyone
at
was a
one
neighbor.
point.
It's just like how 9,845 people carried that baby out of that helicopter. You know, there's pictures of the one paramedic doing it, but every single person who's ever heard of Delaware County or a helicopter did it.
I was there. I did it too.
Well, yeah, it's like the I'm Spartacus. I carried that baby.
Bears.
There's cocaine.
Bears. You hear that, Bears?
Haley.
Period.
Jim Haley in 6 seasons in the minors has 57 home runs, 18 at AAA level. If you're wondering what that means, AAA is the one right before MLB level. That's the one that really matters. Career average of 263, 228 at AAA. He has an insanely high amount of stolen bases, I feel. In 6 years, he has 98 stolen bases.
Now that the bases are bigger, it's going to be
He
so
went to
much fun.
Bonner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran to the bases a few times at
I
Bonner.
mean, that's one does.
Yeah.
He's primarily corner infielder. He played on Sunday. He started on Sunday at first base and moved over to third base, his natural position. Spent the last few years with the Durham Bulls, which is the Rays AAA team. He's now officially a Lehigh Valley Iron Pig, wearing 67 because I assume the 610 was taken, or he could be wearing 76, or he could be wearing it in reverse as the 76 to the 76ers. I don't know.
No.
I think also.
But it's pretty crazy if you do think about it. I mean, here's a guy who, let's see, last time the Phillies won in 2008, how old would he have been?
He's
20?
28
He's born in
now.
1995,
2021?
so
Yeah. All right, yeah, so about 20 years old.
It would have been 13.
No,
I was 22 when they won in
I
2008.
thought he was 28 now, you said. 2008, yeah, you're
Yeah.
done.
He's 28 now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
He was
he's
born in
13.
1990.
But
Carry the
so,
one.
yeah, cocaine is the hell of a drug.
Relax, cocaine bear.
No, but I mean, like, seriously, like, could you imagine? I mean, number one, now listen, there's no guarantees going past this level to the Phillies, but
So there is hope.
I'm not saying there's not hope, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that he has the opportunity is amazeballs.
Hmm.
I mean, the guy is playing baseball professionally, so that's cool. Let's add that in there.
Mhm.
Any one of us would love to do that as a kid. Number two, you're playing baseball now with a chance to make a team, which is really tight right now, to make this team if you're not on the current roster already, and be part of a team that could go to the World Series. Winning the World Series for your like that's why like the Hassan Reddick situation with him at the Eagles. Like I said, like there's certain things that money really can't buy, and you could be Jeff Bezos rich, but you can't be good enough to play on the Philadelphia Eagles for your hometown or whatever it is. And that's what I think is like. Here's a kid who's literally living the dream. Like even if he doesn't make it up, it's just freaking awesome.
This was his choosing too, because he opted for free agency. The Durham Bulls in Tampa wanted to keep him, and he said, "I want to go I want to test the market, and he didn't want to test the market. He knew where he was going because only 31 days later, the day you could sign with the Phillies, he signed with the Phillies. And 67, that jersey number is actually important. My dad was a career minor league player, and he said every year when you show up, the higher the jersey number you get, the less of a chance the organization thinks you have it. And 67 is not high because you got to remember they carry 40 on the roster. My dad was saying the years he knew he wasn't going to make it, somewhere in the 90s, somewhere in the 80s. So 67 for an infielder is actually pretty decent enough.
I wonder if he's getting a little bit older now in terms of players.
Baseball,
So
So 28's old by today's MLB standards, but it used to be the average age you came up to the MLB.
no, I
was
know, but I'm
27.
wondering if that weighed in on his decision to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Slow
Let me
down.
last crack at it, go home and live that dream.
Thursday crack.
Yeah. I think it would. Also, the Rays,
Crack there.
the Rays is a good young organization that is always calling people up.
Mhm.
He might have gotten a chance. I mean, they brought up one dude from this area, Joey Wendell. Anyway, so one tie-in. Probably cool for him.
Here's Holbrook's new profile picture.
Aw,
You look great.
that's
You
cute.
look wonderful.
I don't know. I mean,
I was just saying, first part. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to see him because I'll be in Clearwater Monday.
well, you're going to.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll get to see him play. I mean, the thing with currently is you never know who's going to be playing with games because they could be split squads. They could be they're not all, they're just jockeying people around to get some playing time.
You'll be there before any first round of cuts or anything. Like,
Oh no,
yeah.
I'm just saying. I hope to actually get to see him play. I'm gonna have him sign my wife's boobies.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was
Necessary.
going with that.
Absolutely
Yeah,
necessary.
absolutely.
Just don't tell me you went to O'Hara.
Yeah, I'll
Fuck
slap.
that. Tell him you went to O'Hara.
I'm gonna slap him on the butt with the one finger kind of sticking out and be like, "That's a little Bonner hello for you there,
It's called
sweetheart."
The Bonner
Blow-
Cheese Girl.
Blow him a kiss.
The Bonner
It's
Cheese
a
Girl.
Bonner- Yeah. Ugh.
One
No.
finger tickling the bound.
Oh,
Oh,
boy,
God.
boy.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
My goodness.
Speaking of tickling the brown, I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know where to go with that.
It's about Bradley Cooper.
All right, that'll work.
No, there's somebody I let tickle the brown, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no.
No.
All right. So here's an inspirational quote from Bradley Cooper. That apparently his name is Passion Investing. I don't think this is fucking real.
Probably not.
Hey, we're whores. We'll share anything but likes.
Sure.
Laura says Delco on it.
His
Take this shit in the bag and mark it Delco. We got it covered.
I'm pretty sure the Visit Delco's Photoshop on top of it being fake. I don't think it's the same font.
It's definitely not the same
Like it's
size.
something I would have done. They have an inspirational quote of him: "Travel and tell no one. Live a true love story and tell no one. Live happily and tell no one. People ruin beautiful things. Visit Delco."
I mean, it's pretty true.
That
It's
was in my
spot on.
notes.
It's spot on.
People ruin everything, and it's just like, you know what? You know, it doesn't ruin everything. Delco. I am pretty sure this wasn't said, but who the fuck cares?
It sounds real. It
He
sounds real.
filmed parts of one movie here. Ooh, that's another thing. Everyone was part of that movie. Oh, they filmed in my house. Oh, yeah.
If you watch at one point, you can see my back of my neighbor's
Yeah.
bush.
Robert De Niro actually fucked me in the ass during in this scene. Oh, my wife cuckolded me.
I heard-
Like,
I heard a story where somebody said that they had dinner for the entire crew at their house, and De Niro didn't want to have certain food or something, and they said that person told De Niro, "Don't come," so he didn't show up. Everybody else ate.
Yeah, I
dinner.
definitely don't want Robert De Niro coming to my house.
I would
Sure.
do it coming every
I
day.
heard that.
Jade all pooped in my downstairs.
That's awesome.
I heard that story too, and I think I might be confusing two stories. I think it was John Capoletti's mom,
Yes, maybe that's where I heard it.
and it's just like, wow, you don't disrespect the actual fucking Delco idol, like
Yeah.
Mm.
with that shit. Like
The
that
one
was
thing I
the
do have to
rumor I
mention
heard.
is though the resemblance to Bradley Cooper and myself is unfriggin' canny.
It's. I thought.
It's scary.
I thought we
it's
were putting
scary.
his words on your picture. Yeah.
I
it's
know, like
That profile picture doesn't even look like.
It looks
I
like
mean,
Sean Penn. in the
That's
photo
yeah. It
photo.
looks more exactly.
I
it looks
actually
more like
shaved my
Sean
head
Penn.
just so people would not keep confusing
Doesn't
us.
look Sean
And why? You know what this is? This is probably a ploy for Passion Investing being some Delco-based thing, and we're just like, oh, you know what? We're gonna go. On
I'm
Twitter
literally
and
gonna look it up.
I'm
right
doing it.
now.
Oh,
I'm
they
doing it.
got us. They got us. Marketing. Good job.
Follow. You got yourself a follow. Passion investing.
Good job. Good job.
Probably got
Well
some-
done. Especially, I swear that is Sean Penn.
probably some like Eastern European hack.
What if it's
Honey
just another
pot.
dude named Bradley Cooper?
Unreal Bradley Cooper.
I don't see a blue check mark next to it too. So
You
let's
can
start with that.
Buy them now.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
So there's
that's
blue
coming.
is you buy. So pretty much what allows you to do is to edit a little longer if you make a mistake, and people can pretend to be legit when
You
they're
see
not.
the dude who bought Aaron Hernandez's and just tweeted out, "Yeah, I did that shit."
Oh, that's
Well played, sir.
Oh, you know what? That's an offensive joke. Why don't we jump into that one?
which
Sure.
one?
Being offended
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all
and
warmed up.
picking and choosing.
We're all warmed up.
Oh, I'm lubed up and ready to go,
Yeah.
baby.
Do we have a graphic for this, or are we just talking?
We're just talking.
Okay.
We're riffing.
All right. So I'm going
Riffing.
to give a backstory here, and I'm going to cut it off at
Riffing.
certain points, and you guys
Riffing.
interject throughout. Just pretend you don't know where it's going, right?
I don't.
Okay.
I really rarely
You
do.
don't have to
I
pretend.
have no idea.
Okay, you don't have to pretend.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Give it to me. Daddy.
Okay.
Slowly. What am I wearing in this scenario?
What?
Oh.
I don't know.
Wow.
Cocaine Bear wears whatever the fuck Cocaine Bear
Cocaine
wants.
Bear don't wear pants.
I'm waiting for the first athlete to go by the
Just
name
a blue
Cocaine
hat with
Bear.
a K on it.
Because Honey Badger became a thing.
Yeah. He hate me was a
Motherfucker.
thing.
Yeah.
He ate me.
He was actually in our studio. Our
He
old
hate me,
studio.
Yeah.
He hate me was in our old
He hate me.
studio.
I had his XFL jersey
Yeah.
in like
Freddie,
so the XFL only existed in
Freddie
2001.
Mitchell's cousin.
I had his jersey in like 2011. I went on eBay and bid on it. It was too small, and I wore like a belly shirt.
He wouldn't eat everything that I was making for dinner, so I told him not to come to my
All right,
house.
that makes sense.
He
That
said,
makes sense.
he hate me, hate that dish. An individual went to see local comedian Pat House. House is alleged to have made a joke concerning Asperger's. The individual is upset because they have a child on the autism spectrum and states unless they live it, they can't joke about it. There are two approaches here where one can agree or disagree with the argument or the gray area in between. The two ways I see it as one side. Comedy shows are supposed to be funny, often pushing the line for entertainment. The other side is there are comedians who get out there just to offend because they aren't funny and have to cover it up. I don't know what the actual joke was, but would you agree those are the two main paths you can go with this argument, right?
Sure.
Discuss. Discuss.
All right, number one.
I said I just don't want to sound like I'm
It's-
reading the morning
yeah,
announcements.
so-
Input,
so-
guys.
Yeah,
It's
right.
tough not knowing the exact joke,
Right.
but I mean
Here's my thing. We've talked about this in the past, and I just no. I don't. Number one is there's two sides to this coin. Is number one is if you have somebody with a certain disability or some some joke has been made and there's some sort of connection to it, doesn't make it not funny or doesn't make it wrong because you have a connection to it. Because in my eyes, if you say, "Hey, I have a connection to that," like say I have somebody with a kid with Asperger's or I have something like that. So if I didn't have a kid with Asperger's, does that make it okay then? So because at this rate, what this lady's saying is
I didn't say lady.
if well, this person's saying,
Individual.
this individual saying that you pretty much can't make any jokes because unless you have something in your like if your kid has Asperger's, you can't make a joke about that. If you're a black person, you can't make white jokes, Asian jokes. If you're a white person, you can't make black or Asian jokes.
Yeah, I'll go right to race.
I'm just saying you can't talk about something. This is what this
So-
person is saying that if you do not live it, you cannot. Talk
If I
about
had 3 toes, you'd make a support group for toeless teens, Mom.
it, I guess.
I made a support group for tourists.
I think
What,
that's
what movie's that from?
No idea.
I think that's like
Mean
the
Girls,
Girl
overall.
Positive.
I think that's the
Oh, shit.
overall. Everybody's like, oh,
Time
you
for
can't even
rewatch.
have comedy anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
I
All
think
this,
it's a pretty risky business nowadays. Follow Delco Live at DelcoLive.com for all the risky fucking
you mean being a stand-up comic?
being anything like when you're trying to be funny. Like it's here's my thing with the stand-up comedy, it's live. Like what we do. Like how many times have you seen a post on
If you're easily offended, why would you go to a
well,
stand-up comedy
but-
show?
but like, or why would you not go and say, listen, does the person or persons making jokes tonight talk about people with Asperger's? Because I have a kid with Asperger's, you can't talk about that. Talk about people who died from cancer. I've had people have family members who died from cancer. People can't talk about like if you're a male comedian, can I not make female jokes?
Probably not well, but you're
If
gonna
I'm
do it
not
anyway.
married, if I'm not married, can I not make married jokes?
I just think back to Josh Saner's thing where he tried to make a joke about women, and it was he was awful.
Well,
I did tell him to
Josh
watch comedy
Saner
the
is-
night before. He didn't listen.
It's German for I'm awful.
The joke he said was like, women are like cars; they're past owners. And I said, "What do you mean owners?" And it just threw him off. He's like, "Oh no."
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. So no, the way you're talking about is the way the South Park, the infamous South Park fucking scene goes, where Mr. Garrison as Donald Trump is out there saying all these horrible things for 6 months, and then all of a sudden he makes like one joke about like something, and a woman walks out and goes, "Oh, that's where you draw the line. I made a period joke. That's the one that got you." Like when I was young,
But that's
fuck
my
him up
point,
the
like-
ass. Like that's one thing.
So you are not allowed to, but not even just jokes, but in general, you are not allowed to talk about topic unless you have lived it or have some insight in it at all. That's pretty much what I'm hearing.
Right. Now, I will jump on the other side. We
Sure.
do not know what this is. This is not directly towards any specific comedian
Mm-mm.
involved in this argument for. But
Speculatory.
we have seen certain stand-up comedians that literally make their entire existence off trying to be a shock jock, trying to be a fake Anthony Jeselnik and Daniel Tosh, and go out there just to offend, and then get upset when people get offended, and then they cry themselves. I'm thinking of about 6 in particular. And the thing is,
All the same
the
show.
thing is, they were offensive, but they just weren't fucking funny. Like there wasn't punchline. One motherfucker was literally rape joke, body joke. Rape joke, dead baby joke, rape joke, dead baby joke, and then the encore, raping a dead baby.
So
Like that wasn't there wasn't even punchlines to some of these things.
Clever.
It's just like a girlfriend asks you to take her out to dinner tonight, and she's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna punch her down the stairs and kick her in the baby." Like that's not what.
Where does this come in?
So I remember, like, call me old school, but like, dude, like
So old
everybody's so worried about offending, but you fucking Andrew Dice Clay selling out Madison Square Garden with the filth that was coming out of his mouth. It was just, it's comedy. You know what I mean? Eddie Murphy did it. There's Dave Chappelle, and then now look at him. He's getting ran off on Netflix because people are fucking woke.
I've literally said,
But he's back.
But he's back.
I-
Yeah, well, you can't hold Dave Chappelle
No,
out. I
he's
mean,
back.
he's an icon,
but I've told people, I said, I'm going to say something right now. Carrie, I'm going to tell you right now
Oh, I can't wait.
that
and he's
what I'm about to say is not true, and I don't believe it at all. But I'm just going to say it. It's going to piss you off, and that's true. You can do that. You can pre-warn people. Everything I say is not true. I'm just doing it for the laugh.
It's like the infamous line of "I'm not racist," but it's like I know the next words are going to be racist.
Right.
then.
I think you make
comedy
a
is like
distinction,
an
though.
exaggeration of
Yeah.
like it's exaggerated. It's
The
enter-
character
it's entertainment, man. It's fucking
But
entertainment.
that's the thing, though, and Holbrook makes the point. It has to be funny.
Yeah.
It has to
Otherwise,
be
you're
funny and
fun.
clever, right?
Let me ask you this
Yeah,
question.
exactly.
Is there a difference between being raunchy funny live on a stage or even live on internet or video or some sort where people can react to it live versus say like a comedy skit or SNL or a movie where they push the line?
And one SNL stopped being funny when they stopped being a little raunchy.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
they
you know
started- when
what
they-
I'm saying is something that's pre-recorded and something that, like a movie. Just take a movie for instance. Like they just took a premise, they wrote funny bits to it, and they ran with it. Like what's it called? Eastbound and Down. I thought that show was hilarious.
So good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that pushes limits, like
Mhm.
big time limits,
Sure.
race limits, women limits,
Sure.
everything. It's just I know what I'm walking into is supposed to make me laugh. I look at shows like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, South Park, The League when it was still going on. They pushed the limits,
Right.
and it's like if you watch these shows, like if these people, if they were real, like real people acting like this, they would be the most horrible human beings in the world.
Always Sunny has definitely pumped the brakes. South Park's actually pumped the brakes a little bit too, because they're just going after like people, like instead of like ideas
Concepts.
and situations and
Yeah.
concepts. But the one thing that a lot of people are doing now, which I've begun to notice, there's a lot of shows coming out now that are based back in the 70s or 60s or 80s, where they can like say shit like if it was the 90s
Like
or whatever. and
F
just be
for Family type
F is for
thing.
Family is a great example. They say all the jokes that like would have been said in like 1999 or like now, but like the 70s you could say that. They're in the 70s,
period
so
piece.
it's okay for them to say like
Yeah.
these offensive things. That's what it was like back then.
Yeah.
So that's like the way they find
accurate.
out about it. So this story is not done yet. So I wrote a little thing where it goes, this is not, the two sides you can go. There's not really a formula to figure this out. If one is offended by using strife or shock value, the audience has the right to be dissenting. If it is done with no offense intended and merely an aspect of moving along the story, and the context is that no one can ever mention the um when when you say you can never mention a diagnosis like that, it essentially turns into the version of that's our word,
Mhm.
or saying that like you can't see an individual as a skin color as an identifier. Like it just turns into that.
Did I not tell that story
You-
the other day?
You alienate yourself
Yeah.
more. It's like when I was talking to the one Nova kid, where I said, "What are you majoring in?" And they said, "Peace and justice."
Oh.
And I said, "What do you mean?" They're like, "It's criminal justice. They just changed the name because it was offensive." And I was like, "Offensive to who?" And they're like, "Minorities." I'm like, and it's the school who heard the word minor or heard criminal and thought minority.
Mm.
Like,
And who
Well,
are they? Who are they to speak for?
Did I tell the story on the air about I was at my office and I had a black man trying to explain what the doctor he saw who was a black woman, and he felt awkward to use black as a description of the person.
yeah.
Like it's gotten that bad.
Yeah.
Like I go, was it a man or a woman? He goes, it was a woman, and she was.
We just watched Superbad, and that's when Fogel gets punched at the liquor store, and the cops are in there asking the cashier, "Does he look like us?" Or like it's the same scenario.
Yeah, but like I literally had a black man felt wrong to tell a white man to describe another person by delineating their skin color. That's where it's gotten. That's the part that freaks me out. Like I've gotten used to the okay.
That's how they've
fine.
got. That's
The
how
other
they.
way around. I've come just
That's how they conditioned
But-
us. But if you look at it, that's all they look at us as.
But that is just in the context of real world, actual people talking to each other at social.
somebody doesn't know somebody.
No, that's literally that's a different aspect.
Like, could
than
you
a comedy
imagine if
show.
I stood up and I just slammed my hand down on the desk and I said, "Sir, that woman is not to be identified by her race or her
No,
color
I
of her
can't
skin."
imagine that.
I mean, I don't understand. Like,
But that's not the argument being made.
I know,
No.
but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that it falls into that
Right.
rubric.
But so
Sure.
this person is offended because she has, what's the word? Not skin in the game. That sounds racist.
There's a connection.
Yeah, they say when you're gambling, it's always better to get
Yeah.
skin in the game.
Yes.
So she has a connection, right? And you can't do it because she has a connection to this, and it's offensive, right?
I'm listening.
And it didn't just end there. It went on with the whole thing about how kindness is kindness. We need to be understanding. We can't joke about serious situations. It was a whole thing about serious situations and serious problems. This discussion will be fine and dandy, except the post she made before ripping into Pat House, tagging him for being offensive to or making a joke involving Asperger's. I don't think there was a joke where the punchline could be Asperger's. The post she had directly beforehand was a meme and self-written comments mocking the gullibility of the parents on Abducted in Plain Sight, which is literally about the parents letting their child get raped repeatedly by an abuser for her entire childhood and teen years. So a stand-up comedian can't mention Asperger's, but you can literally share share jokes mocking a child who was raped over like 40 times. And the punchline is, the parents, they suck. They let their kid get raped. But like, don't, because it's not her kid, right?
Well, that's the problem.
And let's think about the arenas that these would be in. One was at a comedy show.
Mm.
The other was a documentary they clicked on about a child getting raped repeatedly.
Both of which she could have chosen at any point to not continue spectating.
Yes.
I mean, I hate people. I guess it's the easiest way of putting it. Like I don't understand the hypocrisy, I guess you would say, of the world in general. We have lost our way, and maybe it'll circle back around a little bit. But like, I just don't get like if you hurt my feelings, you are bad. No, if I hurt your feelings, get the F out of a comedy club. Like, just
Mm.
go. Get out. You shouldn't be in a comedy club.
I will never say it's black or white like that. I literally do think there are plenty of shitty comedians
Oh,
that are just like, dude, get the fuck off stage. Like,
yeah, but why
get
doesn't
off
she just go, this guy's a shitty comedian. He makes stupid jokes about things that really I don't find amusing.
Yeah, what about the one fucker that we heard of that some in the comedy world, someone like just jerked themselves off enough to like move up to like booking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The one dude was out there like flopping, and he told that everyone behind him had to make a Nazi joke. And it's just like people were just like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, why? Like, I'm like family friendly, and you want me to go out there and make a Nazi joke? Like, they're like, oh, you don't do that, you're not gonna get a job again." I'm like, okay, I don't think it pays.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, the premise, if you're just going on the flat premise of you're not allowed to make a joke or comment or talk about something unless you lived it, is bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're also there. I would say if you're trying to be an expert in something, then no, shut your damn mouth. If you don't know or have some sort of expertise in it.
Is it an assumption there was no connection between the comedian and
Maybe his kid has.
like
That's the other
thing. Like
thing.
that's a bold assumption there to say that you don't have the connection. Do we know? We don't know.
We don't know.
Who knows? Nobody
So-
knows. Who knows?
What a
Shut the
dick.
fuck up.
Going back to it, I still think that you should have to make your comments with like as a video. Like you should show your face. That should be.
I agree. Here, and that's one of the things I actually was going to bring up. Like, we're sitting here putting our names, ourselves, our faces out there and saying how we feel about something. We're not mentioning this person so people flood our inbox with whatever on purpose.
Not yet.
Not yet. But my thing is, like, people, if you're going to bash somebody, especially somebody's livelihood, because this could be this guy's livelihood. We don't know what he said. Like, I don't know what he said is offensive or could be offensive. And and this person did not say, right, exactly what the joke was, as far as we know.
No.
Like, did give you like a quote of said joke.
No.
Is she the only one that's ever, you know what I mean? Like, if
Well, listen, I'm sure everybody's like, it's like finding any professional comedian, doctor, lawyer. If you find somebody who has the squeakiest clean where everybody liked them, it's a lie.
I mean, look at what society has done with some of their own creations over the last couple of years. Like,
Hitchbot.
what's up?
Hitchbot.
I think probably has
Yeah,
so much
babies.
semen on it.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Like, as soon as someone starts getting, like, as soon as society puts someone up on a pedestal, they want to knock them down. It is a real thing. Like, for example, we were talking earlier. It's like, oh yeah, Damar Hamlin was at the Sixers game. There was a time where it was just like, man, he's he's an icon just for getting up. I'm so happy he's alive now. She's like, who the fuck cares? Like, I don't care when the Sixers game.
Well, I don't know if that's the same exact thing.
But
I see where you're going.
I'm trying to find a connection here. But
Elon Musk, where everyone's saying this dude's a complete fucking genius. Look at all the things he's created. Oh my God, Tesla's going to save the planet. Then all of a sudden, people hate him for the same reason they were fucking praising him, but they didn't know why they were praising him the first time.
No, well, that's everybody. It's anybody who's successful and
Kim Kardashian moved her all the way up, and as soon as she got to the top, I mean, you become fodder. But it was basically just like, oh, bring her down.
Yeah.
The world creates, the world destroys. That's another South Park fucking episode with the Britney Spears thing.
Yep.
Where they made her, and then they wanted to kill her.
Free Britney.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we felt bad because we killed her. Like they basically killed her. Like society ruined her. Now they're just like, oh, we're so happy she has her money back. Like we want a new album. They go back. They were number one for a reason, and then everyone hated them, and now everyone's just like, no, what? We were too awesome.
Everybody loves to come back.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the moral of the story with this shit is be careful with the pedestals you put yourself on because you're going to be judged. You're going to be looked at for hypocrisy.
Get
And this
over
one was
yourself.
ridiculous because all I did was click one button.
I would have more respect for a person if they said, you know what? Because this is my thing again. You're putting somebody on blast. You're tagging this guy, and you could be hurting his career, maybe hurting his bookings at other places based on that. Instead of what happened to the good old day when somebody was doing something that you felt was wrong, and you contacted them directly and didn't make it a big public spectacle because, oh, look at me, I'm the victim. That's my new problem. It's if you're not a victim, you're the bad guy.
Someone wasn't getting enough attention.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Somebody's husband needs to be dicking her better.
Oh no.
Jesus Lordy.
I took
Oh,
offense to that.
okay.
My name's Alza Fury. I hope you heard that. And she can suck
What do
my
you
It's
balls.
say?
it's
The
plausible.
individual
I
out,
hope
we
they
didn't
heard
say
it. I
anything.
hope they heard it.
I don't even know. I don't even know who the person is, but that's
No,
plausible. That's
I
plausible.
will give credit for someone in today's society actually writing an original, well thought out post. Maybe I didn't agree with the concept of it.
But do you respect it more if she was to contact him directly and talk to him as one-on-one human being instead of having to make this big spectacle on Facebook of look at me, I'm so hurt right now.
I don't know if I agree that it was well thought out.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean,
It's missing
Look,
by
how long of a post was this? Like a couple paragraphs or like 27 posts?
long enough that I didn't read the whole thing.
Lengthy, like
Girthy?
yeah, it was. I don't know, like what's a
I mean, if you were to read it
200 words?
Oh, wow.
200 words, not like a full paragraph,
What
but
a
like
nerd.
It wouldn't fit in a tweet.
it would be a paragraph and a half, I guess.
It'd be like 12 tweets, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It'd be definitely more than a tweet, but less than a manifesto. Like, I had to write things in literary. No.
I have more respect for that.
But dude, I'm just happy when anyone, even if it's a dissenting opinion or anything, writes out an original fucking thing nowadays. I won't question. I will discuss with people. But when someone just shares a meme and like thinks it's okay because it's like someone else's thought, number one, not
Tweet
original.
from
Number
2020.
two, you can hide behind saying, "No, I didn't write it." Like, I respect anyone who writes their own statuses anymore, even if it's fucking ridiculous. I'm like, I respect it. It's original thought.
Well, listen, you want to write your status because at least with and Facebook, I give you a little bit more credit because Twitter, you could be at whatever d-bag you are,
Yeah.
and hide behind said Twitter handle. Instagram, same thing. TikTok, all that fun stuff. Facebook, I mean, you can make up a fake name. I could, pretend to be a woman and catfish the shit out of status.
Ooh, hey.
Now it's a Tuesday.
Now we're rocking. But my point is, like, I don't 100% agree with what she said. I'll give her credit that she put out there, but I lose faith in society and people in general because nobody's willing to actually go to the person and say, I would like to have a conversation with you. I would like to actually break this down like two consenting adults having a logical, well thought out conversation instead of just going blast
That's
Facebook.
Tag him,
gone.
though.
That's
Tag him.
gone.
So what if
So,
they were in cahoots?
It did get deleted, but not before I.
All right, now you're a puss.
Now, do you think it's because they had a discussion beforehand, like behind the scenes?
No, because you
they
know
would
what?
post about having the discussion.
If you already posted, I would have just updated the post at the top, put the little asterisks and say, we've had a conversation since then. I'm leaving this post up, but I'm going to put or at least put another post up saying that that's why I took it down.
The way we used to have to do it in my old job was like you'd have to at least if somebody's ripping you, you have to at least respond in the comments. Hey, so sorry if you'd like to private message us to talk about it further. We can.
And maybe
do
he
that,
did.
The old
you
Delco
know?
Maybe he did.
thing, yeah.
But maybe he did do that. Maybe he said, listen, if you want to talk about this, let's talk about it. Because you know what? I would love to know if I'm sure at one point during the many years we've been doing this that we have said or posted or did something that has pissed somebody off.
Sure, tonight.
That was have you checked the stream app?
Yeah, right. But I would have respect if that person said, I want to come on your show and debate what you guys are talking about right now.
That'd be fun.
I would love to debate somebody. Like, I actually, when I go into a debate or conversation, I don't care if you're talking about a sports topic or a controversial topic or whatever. If you're willing to talk to me, I'm willing to at least give you the benefit of the doubt of maybe I'll think about changing my mind.
Maybe I'll think about it.
I want to know the joke. Like, I mean, it all comes down to that.
Yeah.
Should we reach out to him?
I kind of want to just to get clarification.
I would like to know. We could write an article
because that's
on
the whole thing. We've dealt with God. We have dealt with way too many fucking local comedians. And let me tell you, I've hated about 85% of them. That's a well documented fact. But
Should we all
the
write
ones
in
that are sane will respond logically and like explain it. I do have a feeling this quote unquote joke was probably not intended to offend and maybe not have been used in a context of offense.
Well, I mean,
it could have been.
Until we know, we won't know that answer. But my point is, was it as blown up as she made it out to be. Wasn't. He just made a very ill-minded comment or joke, and he regrets it. Like nobody comes out and says, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Like nobody does that. Nobody says. They just take their post down. Well, if I take it down, it never happened.
Screenshots.
But no. What my point is,
People
like,
forget.
nobody ever goes out and puts a post up. Do you want? I had a conversation with this comedian. We kind of hashed it out. I might have been overblown with it, or he admits that it might have been a little distasteful.
I'm just thinking about all the times.
And I know that sounds boring
How
to
they've ended
people.
bad.
I know how that sounds boring to people, but like nobody. First of all, you're not allowed to be wrong anymore.
No.
That's my problem with it. Like people will get shut down, even if somebody comes in and goes, "You know what? Yeah, that was wrong. I did something wrong there." There's certain things are unforgivable. There's certain things if you're like we always talk about the baseball announcer who made a very
Oh my God!
racist comment before when he thought he was the microphone.
Yeah.
And like he's trying to apologize while calling a baseball game coming back from the commercial. Yeah, unfortunately your job is what it is. You can't come back from that. And what you said is hard to say. Well, that's if anybody knows me, that's not how I see it.
The Reds, the guy from the Reds.
Tom Brenneman, wasn't it?
I thought that wasn't racist, was it? It was
Oh no,
sexual. Wasn't I thought it was a sexual thing.
Oh no,
No, it was very
oh yeah.
I thought
it was very angry.
It was.
I might not be.
It wasn't even sugarcoated like your grandpa, like at Thanksgiving, like being like, "Oh, he's just an old folksy person." Like this was straight up, just like this dude's got hate in his heart.
Wow.
Why is he doing this at work, let alone like with a microphone on?
Jack Morrison?
No, it's Tom Brenneman.
Hold on.
Read it, Al.
I'm just shut up and keep talking, assholes.
Out loud with feeling. I want
it was-
story time. I want to know exactly
It was the
what
guy
it
who
was.
does. I'm pretty sure it's Tom Brenneman.
I don't know.
Maybe it is. I'm looking. I just googled
Reds racist announcer, and it was a Nick Castellanos home run he called while apologizing.
Oh, jeez.
MLB announcer apologized for making racist 40-acre field remark about White Sox player.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And the guy was.
Do you want to read it out loud with feeling?
I don't.
Jim Kaat, K-A-A-T.
No, Jim Kaat is
Kaat,
a pitcher who's going to the Hall of Fame this year, possibly as a Philly. That's not him.
Oh,
I was just saying.
it's a
names.
different. I'm looking at
Yeah,
different things.
He's just reading from the Google.
I'm really over. Here it is. Hold on. Homophobic. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was a
Ah,
homophobic.
I told
slur.
you.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
said
yeah.
Yeah, I just said
Tom
that. It
Brenneman, here
wasn't
it is.
Tom Brenneman,
It
Yes.
wasn't racist. It was homophobic, right?
because he does.
And see, there you go. Speaking of what you said earlier, I didn't even know what the word was for it. I didn't want to say homosexual. You know what I mean? But homophobic didn't come then. But I knew it was about that.
I'm so
It
down.
was a
with fancy, I
doubleheader.
don't
Did he
even know the
finish the
word.
doubleheader?
I'm so homophobic. I don't know the word.
What he said is literally word for word what Kenny Powers said at the beginning of episode 1 of Eastbound and Down.
And who was batting at the time?
Is Nick Castellanos? We just
Nick
said that,
Castellanos, yeah.
and he's just like, lots of gay friends, and I shouldn't have said that. And that falls deep.
And
Castellanos
there's
goes.
But
Speaking of balls deep.
23rd.
and it's my favorite. If anybody knows me, knows that's not me. Nah, dude, that came out real.
I'm sorry. I love gay men, and that ball is deep.
Yeah. He hit off the foul pole, my foul pole.
I've called my gay friends. I told them I suck each of their dicks 7 times as an apology, and Castellanos goes deep again. That's it. The Reds are up now 3-2.
I will suck dick to get my job
And I
back.
said I will do anal on camera if it means I get the forgiveness
Love
that I
baseball.
need to do this.
I will have my wife peg me when I go home this evening.
Suarez steals second.
And that's his 13th stolen base of the year.
Joey Votto. Anyway,
And I'm not once again trying to make fun of a very tough situation. The way he did call that game, he was sitting there. Anybody knows me, and it's not the way it goes. And it went deep into left field, and
Pure professional.
He
Pure
did
professional.
not skip a beat when
Yeah.
he did that.
Pure professional. Except for the fact when he stopped it, he couldn't stop himself from making the homophobic.
I mean, such a professional. I mean, you know to wait till the mics are off before you're going to say anything, you
Yeah, right.
stupid moron.
he does like
I think somebody did it on purpose.
he does.
I think this is like some guy who consistently did it, and
they
somebody
fuck-
said, "You know what?
fuck
F
you.
this dude.
Mhm.
Oops, we forgot to turn the mic."
You know
on."
what?
I love that.
Maybe they said it more like, you know what? Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
God,
That's really good, Spaz.
Yeah. Thank you.
Practicing?
Yes. Since I was born.
I'll show this pole smoker.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking cock.
So, anyways, I was introduced to anal beads last night.
Yeah.
Count is 3-2, bases loaded.
One time in college, somebody put a finger in my anus, and I kind of liked it.
I got the Bonner cheese curl
I was gonna say
once.
Bonner cheese curls. That'll be fun full circle.
I'm not offended. And
I think they call that a
Castellanos-
reach around in certain.
As Harper steps to the plate.
Castellanos doesn't run after the ball. He's a slug. Addicted to human slugs. There's this one fetish place down on 11th Street.
Oh, I know.
See, and here's the thing: is I would actually love to reach out to both the comedian Pat House and the person who wrote that, and say, "Listen, I want you to come into the studio. We won't even go
believe you have
live."
now trashed both of them live on the air, Al.
So all
What?
the more reason for them
What?
to
What did I
both come
say?
in and defend themselves.
I'm not trying.
I believe the phrase "someone's husband needs to give them a good dicking" was said, Al.
But it's, I mean,
And Castellanos goes deep.
it's not bad advice for someone you like, too.
Listen, I think I need my wife
Al
needs a good dicking.
dicking.
I mean, like,
Al needs a-
I believe most people need a good dicking in their life.
I think I could use a good.
Can you believe words with friends won't allow you to use dicking or queef?
That's horseshit.
It's bullshit because they'll let words like
Like
oh in there. Yeah.
What's a cue?
Oh
5
my
points? 10
god.
points?
A lot.
Yeah.
Q and use a lot.
But honestly, like I said, if I would reach out to these people and say, "Listen, I'm gonna let you come on here and just
No, it's
and
fine.
just hash it out," but nobody would because they're all a bunch of bitches.
Feelings are hard.
And speaking of coming on, man, there goes Castellanos. Sorry, I
I
took
don't
it
think
away
you just
from
took it into the big dick territory, Al. You
Well-
know, and,
Nah, I said need some dicking. I didn't say big dick.
them. They probably don't even
it's
care.
like my one meltdown
Yeah.
when I was taking all that fucking hydroxycut. I just yelled, "Fuck God, I am Christ."
I want that on
I hate
a
this
pillow.
person. I hate that. They're both wrong. Fuck them. We're right.
Speaking of,
Fuck God. Oh, Delco
just in
residents.
time after Valentine's Day.
Oh
Delco
my
residents can
God.
get free condoms mailed to them as part of an effort to reduce STIs. Fun fact: Delco, #1, we are spreading syphilis at a record pace, and it's only going to get worse with our fine attire in our shop, where you can buy the "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" shirt because it could also say "Kiss Me, I have syphilis."
What?
I love that. That was a Valentine's Day story. Did you
It's,
see that? It was
Yeah.
the day after Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
what else were we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently we are
Or lame.
spreading syphilis quicker than a Cash for Gold shop's opening up, dude.
Uh-huh.
And it's it's got to be some lucky individuals that got in their group and spread it around, man.
Well, me and Karen were just saying, well, we all were kind of off air. Like, I blame the pandemic. I blame the pandemic for two
You
things.
got to get yourself back out there,
I mean, talk about people needing a dicking.
right?
That pandemic left plenty for a dicking. I mean, big time.
Oh, that's a dickin'. Paddle in the school canoe. That's a dickin'.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know? Like, I don't know anyone who's ever had syphilis that I
I
know.
know a
of,
lot of
whatever.
people who go around talking about it.
What's
Tiny virus. Like, oh no, I've got the consumption.
I mean, I know because he's not here to defend
What's-
himself.
what's
The
syphilis?
prophet has it all the time.
what's syphilis do to you?
Piss like
I mean, is
it
it
rots your fucking
you
dick,
get, like,
and then it rots your
rot your brain? That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Like Al
Yeah.
Capone died of it.
Okay,
'cause it
that's-
rotted his brain. It makes your brain like CTE.
it's all those
It-
chubby
it-
Chicago women that got him.
It,
what
eat, it
happens.
eats your brain, right? It just eats. Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But like you can treat it with penicillin. If you
It
get
eats the
there.
main vein all the way up to the brain.
Well, there's not
That's
a
how
lot
I
of
remember it.
luck.
That's nice. It's cute.
Lucky
Yeah.
for Delco, there's not a whole lot of brains to be had.
Yeah.
Eaten, so.
But I mean, it makes sense.
I'm offended.
No, I'm sorry.
Because of 13th grade.
Oh, speaking of offended by my goddamn writing,
Mhm.
DCQ'd. All right, we just went for literally just a post to be like, remember how great our community college is and all the success stories.
You literally
came out
wrote
of
the
it?
Harvard of community college.
That's not a joke. That when I went there in like 2005, that was literally their fucking slogan.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have thought that up. There was literally shit.
He
that
went
said
to
on the
DC
pamphlet.
Cube. He's not that smart.
I went to DCQ'd for 5 years.
I want the DCQ.
He's a DC Cube doctor.
I went to 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and the number that comes after 16th grade.
We all have we all been there?
I have not.
You didn't even take a class there, like a summer course.
I
Oh,
graduated DCQ.
Lottie doctor.
I went to Temple with Carrie after I graduated 13th grade 6 times.
Yeah.
It's the majority of the people, I think, understood that. It's just the ones that bark the loudest. You know what I
Old
mean?
man
It's-
yells at cloud.
yeah.
Some people have no one to
and there was
talk to.
and there was a few of them.
They talk to no one.
Yeah.
I made
Which is
up
us.
a thing that said half the price, or a fraction of the price, a myriad of the Delco. And I said, I learned that word myriad at DCQ. And someone called me out for my use of how I'm using
And
it.
I jumped all over.
It was about how it's a community college. And I don't know
Maybe
how
you
to
should
fucking
go
use it.
for a fourth time, dumbass.
Number one, read the damn post. Oh yeah, you mean take English 102 a fourth time?
Yeah.
I did actually take it 3 times. No, like
It became 408 by the time Holbrook got done with it.
Fine, it's cheap. Go for it.
oh, it's just like, why do people get so mad about things like that? Just enjoy
Nothing
that damn post.
fucking better to
Well,
do than get syphilis and angry.
There's a lot of passive comments too. Like, oh, I went and I got my I was registered nurse there. It's like, oh, cool, man. That's cool.
I like the success stories. DCQ is actually a
Yeah.
great
All right,
fucking
success
concept.
story, DC Cube. I got one for you. Tuesday break days. I used to get dome ski all the time. In
Nice.
between the
What
breaks.
was his name?
Anyway, Cassie.
All I know is he went to bar.
Yeah, this goes deep.
Now it goes deep into Castellanos.
Delaware County is actually the Harvard of Community Colleges. It's ranked one of the greatest in the fucking.
It's
In the
so
East Coast.
good that Chester County said, screw it. I ain't creating one. I'm just going to send everybody there.
So that's one of my arguments. Is actually there is not a Chester County Community College. They have to
No.
go to DCQ.
Yep.
Remember when the fucking pandemic broke out and they go, oh, why doesn't Delaware County have their own pandemic? Why do they have to rely on Chester counties? Why does Chester County have to rely on our community college? It's a trade-off. It's fucking we all want to be communists.
No,
That's the trade-off.
that was a Department of Health, right? We
That's
didn't.
what I mean.
Well, I think Delaware County should have a department.
I know, because I don't want the syphilis to stop. That's what
Maybe the
I'm
syphilis.
for.
Maybe.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if it's in the budget. We can't even get hospitals open. You want a Department of Health.
Fucking floating balloons filled with syphilis over our houses. I don't know what's going on.
It's all from the Essington
Ah.
jet stream coming from the airport, the Marcus Hook fucking smog clouds. That's how you get syphilis.
All right.
The clouds.
So good.
To the clouds.
It's all about tiny cum.
Tiny.
Tiny cum.
Oh my god, we should sell shares. of
I
Twitter.
like tiny cum.
Oh,
that's
yes,
safe
we
to
should.
yourself.
Tiny,
Tiny cum.
little dot in between.
Tiny
Aw.
cum.
I'm betting you, son of a bitch.
I'll sue the shit out of you.
I will kill you and everything you know.
Espresso martinis, all the rage. Al, you ever had one? You have diabetes. Harry, they're delightful, aren't they?
I can drink
Yeah.
espresso. There's no sugar in that.
It's for liquor for fancy people.
It
and
is.
I
Is it really?
always
Like, does it
feel
really get you that?
a bad bitch with an espresso martini?
It'll make you a bad bitch.
And I just I feel like one.
Yeah.
Do you
So
feel
funny.
like one, or do you get like all like I want to fight somebody?
Well, it depends on how many.
It just makes you want to go on Facebook and correct someone's
I
grammar.
want, yes.
Oh, dear.
Argue in the
Let's go.
comments.
Let's go to a comedy show and just tear them apart for making jokes at a comedy show.
You
I
mean-
want to be homophobic
you
and
mean-
call a home
Do you
run.
mean just like when you hold it, you're drinking it, you put it down, you feel like a
Yeah.
boss
Yeah,
lady?
and
Like
coffee's
one
delicious.
pinky up.
Yeah.
Espresso
Exactly.
martini. Just to feel like a
And
bitch.
by the way, no one has like an actual definition of how you make an espresso martini because the last three places I
Whatever
went
feels good.
makes their own. One was the Fabio's.
Wawa and booze.
The Fabio's is basically
Yes.
a car bomb with a little bit of glue.
Sure.
Like there's no actual coffee. I went to one where they pre-brewed it and it was spectacular. Northern Liberties because sometimes I'm a hipster on
Oh.
the side,
Oh.
sometimes a hipster on the side.
Closet hipster, you?
Yeah. And
I mean, hold on.
Is a bad
He's a
Time
bad
out.
bitch. Sex in the City.
Since when is he a closet hipster? Look at him. Everything he says hipster. He's got hipster glasses.
I could only afford hipster glasses.
He has a
This
hipster.
was Carson Wentz's optometrist.
He has hipster hair.
I had like
He has hipster hygiene.
well,
He wears things that people wouldn't consider trendy. I mean, he tells us what's always the best. I mean, he's got hipster written all over him.
I did discover a lot of things before people.
Yeah,
Is that a prerequisite for being a hipster?
he loved
thinks
he loved most
Cool,
music
yeah.
before other people did.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I think go to Temple.
sorry.
Are you just realizing this for the first time that you're?
I might be.
did Al just break news to him?
I might be
It's an
hipster.
intervention.
I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah, right?
The fun thing is,
Here's your hipster
hipsters are
card.
so out of style anyway. It's hip to be hipster. It's so hipster to be hipster right now.
Oh my.
So, like that park with all the goth kids.
Yep.
They're like, we ain't gonna do it. Like, well, I'm not gonna do it to conform with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, you ever had one, Al?
What?
Espresso martini?
Yes, I have.
Never had.
I was not thrilled with it.
Oh.
Never had one.
I don't. There's certain things I don't like to mix, and coffee and.
Booze?
Don't go there.
Not coffee and
Are you?
Now.
Like for instance, certain foods I don't like drinking beer with.
Okay, fine.
Okay, like I don't like drinking.
There are just some beverages that shouldn't mingle with other beverages.
Keep your beverage off my beverage.
I hate starches like my pappy did his pappy before him.
We got no time. But no, I mean, there's just certain things I don't like to mix. I really don't, and I don't think espresso and martini.
Damn half beverage.
Well, Stinger's makes a great one, and we'll just have to go over and.
I would
test it
love
out.
Delco
Okay.
Live to go
I'm
to
in.
places and give us their signature drink and try something different.
It's not a signature.
I'll be dead in the cold ground before I recognize we mixed those two beverages.
I had a peppermint bark martini, and I wanted to punch a goat.
Well,
Peppermint barks?
Yes.
Peppermint sucks.
That sounds great.
Oh, we can go bail out the mayor of Upper Darby from jail and get us a goat.
That would
So I
just be like
punch-
That'd be like Rumplemans.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I
pretty
don't.
much Rumplemans and like Kahlua, I guess.
You can't use Rumplemans in a martini.
Yeah,
That had to be like
Anything can be Rumplemans if you try hard enough.
Supplements in your gas tank.
yeah, okay, I guess so.
That's why Holbrook walks funny.
Fair.
That's not why.
It's all the Bonner cheese girls.
Yeah.
Watch that with
That's it.
some rumple bombs.
Hipster Holbrook. Here you go. Ian's calling me. It's official.
It's a thing.
But yeah, you are a hipster. No, but like no, there's certain flavors and certain dynamics I don't want to mix.
Coffee and booze?
I'm not saying coffee and booze because I do fancy me a Pabst hard coffee occasionally,
So good.
but it's so sugary. It's just
Wow,
it's
yeah.
terribly sugary.
You ever put Rumplemans in a fucking in hot chocolate?
I have used Rumplemints instead of mouthwash.
It's a
in pinch.
mint chocolate. It's a mint hot chocolate
I hate that.
that'll get you drunk.
Rumplemints is not so minty to me.
So bad.
It's more
It's the
like
worst.
it's more like
I'm immediately vomiting.
like black licorice-y, like with Anison-y, I guess.
Aniston.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston.
No.
She went to Eddystone for a week. We claim her.
Yes.
Jennifer Aniston.
I'm just saying certain things I don't like to commingle.
All right. Well, we'll have one, and if you hate it, I'm sorry.
I will try one for your
Thank you.
for the science of it, of course.
Thank you.
Clifton and Alden dudes flip car pre-Super Bowl right off Temple's campus on live TV.
Well,
So first part, two things that pissed me off about this story. Number one, the car.
yeah.
Why was it there?
It was someone who lived there.
No, I'm just kidding.
My fault. Yeah.
Why
Are you blaming the car?
was the car dressed like that? I mean, seriously, it was pretty much asking for it.
The car was all dressed like that.
You're pretty much asking for to get in the tailpipe.
Fucking
Yeah.
No, first part, douche thing to do. Like, if you win the Super Bowl, if you lose the Super Bowl, flipping that car over is bullshit. Because you know what? If it was your car and you had to go to work the next day or something, you'd be pissed. Number one. Number two, why I blame you for our loss for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the bullshit and the karmic bullshit that comes back and makes us lose a Super Bowl in the fashion and said we did.
I was angry.
We won in 2018, and what? One car got pushed, and one
One
fucking
jersey
awning
dildo ate
got broke.
shit.
And it's just like, and before this Super Bowl, you decide, let's flip the car.
This Super Bowl, we were way too cocky.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying it was okay not to be
It was that or Jonathan Gannon couldn't get a pass right.
We know my theory.
It was Gavin's car. I'd be all right with it.
One person's gave us a Philly sports
Perspective.
curse.
Hmm.
It's all
You have
perspective.
a Philly sports curse.
I think there's a new Philly sports curse, and it got reversed with the fucking NBA dunk contest because
Mac McClung saved our souls.
one certain aspect wasn't involved in that event.
Ah,
I think you said
I
Asperger's.
know. Mission.
Afterwards was.
I know, and
Did you
there's a
see-
reason he went back to the fucking minors after that. Yep. There's one
Say it ain't so.
main thing that has all of a sudden popped up curse.
Say it ain't so.
I'm not gonna say that one night I got drunk, whipped out an Excel, and started doing win-loss records of things. But
well,
You get drunk
we'll
with
see
that.
this year with the
That's cool.
Phillies.
Promise you whip
'cause
something else while he does it. So
No, it's okay.
We'll see this year with the Phillies
I
because they're gonna
expect them not to win if there's a certain thing involved.
Presence?
well,
Yeah.
we'll see. It will be tested this year.
but this is the
this
reason
season.
why we lost the Super Bowl in the fashion we did. I will tell you right now, it is this bullshit dickbags.
Because we know that everything that fans do applies to everything on the field.
Does.
No, but I have.
Yes,
I
you
do
do.
have a. I listen.
Listen,
Karma.
give the guys a break.
you.
If they were from Alden, right? Maybe
Yeah.
they thought their baby mom was in that car or something. I don't know. Like,
Both are facing charges of criminal mischief, riot,
Yeah.
recklessly endangering another person, and disorderly conduct and other related offenses.
It's like a bad luck.
The
routine.
car was thankfully unoccupied and
it
legally
was
parked, if
unoccupied.
anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
After it was flipped, the windows were then kicked in and broken, and the license plate stolen.
Well, you
Huh.
flipped it. You might as well just go full.
Did they recover the license plate?
If you already don't feel bad, the owner
It's
of the
all
car
crime.
is an elderly
Yeah.
handicapped man
Yeah.
who has lived
Great.
there since 1995 and graduated Temple in 1974 and their
Dickhead.
grad school in 1988. Shockingly, only $16,000 has been raised in the GoFundMe to get him a new car, but yet, like the Chiefs fans are donating to like some of our players' charities, like $800,000.
Yeah.
Here's my like.
So they're like
Why
1%
can't
goes to
we-
giving bread to the inner city.
Why can't they force the people who were arrested to make this guy
You
get a brand new car?
it's like suing somebody. You can't sue somebody for more than they have.
Yeah.
These are shitbags from Alden.
I don't
You're not
care.
gonna buy the
I
guy.
don't care. You go to their places. You take their PlayStation 3s, and you take you
They're
take
taking
their
an estate sale.
Blu-ray player, and you sell you sell their
Blu-ray
fucking
player.
kids.
Maybe
I'm telling you,
You take down their Instagrammers accounts.
you
Instead of
make them,
help-
like you sit there and send a cop out there to make them go mow the lawn of every asshole on their goddamn
how
block.
much for the
I'd make them clean the streets down in Allegheny.
Oh,
Where all
dude,
the fucking
that dude's house will be spotless. I've been making him clean his house every day until they could pay back the money.
No, I'm talking about where
I was living in the Prima Nocta era where you
Oh
could
yeah,
say
I will
things like
breed
that.
out these a-holes.
I will breed them out.
I will
Have you
fuck
ever
them right out.
have
Daddy needs to
have
take
any
Jesus.
Daddy's getting an erection?
My
Daddy,
God.
Solid dicking. That's what he should do. He should dick
see.
these guys.
we're past the 1 hour mark. That's what's going on here.
Ah,
Have you ever come close to flipping a car
Yes.
driving it or physically picking
like
it up?
these kids did?
One time somebody almost ran over a sandwich that I really liked. And I got like that mom strength. I will save my baby.
It was right outside the temple too, where there was a smart car, and I was like, I think we could flip this, and like two of us tried.
Well,
And we got like one, two wheels. We're like, oh shit, it's like way too easy.
if you're driving a smart car, you're
Eagles
pretty
were
much
6 and
asking-
10 that year.
Yeah,
I thought. I
I was
think.
like, oh shit.
I think the smart car slogan is, "Yeah, flip us."
Yeah.
Pretty
We
sure.
dare you.
We dare you. No, I
What else
have
do you
not. My Hulk strength really hasn't kicked in yet on flipping a car.
What else you got going
You know what? Then if we can't make these guys pay them back, if they have a car or their mothers have a car,
Your
all right.
mother? Does your mother have a car?
I would let him go flip their car or have somebody have that.
He's handicapped.
No,
Now
get his
he can't get anywhere because his Oldsmobile's on its roof.
get a ride of people to flip their cars, shit on their front lawns, and let him pre-knock the moms.
You're going eye for eye.
Oh no, it's double. He has 2 cars and 2 moms.
An eye for a brown eye.
Yeah,
Bonner, hello.
This guy's good. Cheese girls.
yeah.
Bonner cheese
There
girls.
you go.
I do find it bad that they only raised $16,000. I mean,
Can
I was gonna put the GoFundMe up there,
I
then I
was
was like,
saying-
I really don't care that much.
Where's this? I'll give him.
I kind of care.
Yeah, I care.
It's kind of bullshit.
It's for sure. I live
You wanna
in
buy him a
that
new
neighborhood.
car?
Those people that didn't
I'm
want
serious.
us there.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's awful.
Carrie actually
Okay.
lived like on that block for a while. I feel
What was it?
it was 17. This was
It's
17.
fair enough this guy has to live by Temple University.
No.
Yeah, well, he actually chose to live there, right?
Yeah, but it's a shithole.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those places around.
Maybe he
here,
can't
and all
afford
that,
it.
like,
The guy can't
generational
afford to
shit.
live anywhere
Yeah.
He
else.
bought the
Yeah.
house.
And he doesn't have a payment, so he goes, I can live here and be able to afford to live here. And I would imagine no one is going to come and flip my friggin' car.
Especially because
That's not what you worry about. All right, maybe somebody breaks in, steals the car stereo,
can we
takes you for a joyride.
Okay, that can happen. Can we start with why was there a congregation of people partying at that area?
Because Temple.
No, but like especially that specific area because it's just like it's so specific and residential. It'd basically be like us going like, "Yep, that's it. We're going down the 400 block of fucking Woodlawn in Albany, and we're gonna have a fucking wild party." And be like, "Really?"
But that's how Temple is.
Cars are
though.
light down
A
there.
lot of like the university housing even is in just like a straight up just
True.
residential, generational. Like people have lived there. Their parents live there. Their grandparents live there.
Yeah.
That's why the people that live in the neighborhood hate the Temple students. They hate the Temple students. that
Yeah,
live
at the
there. And
same
that's why they
time,
had all of these laws put in about where you can live and where you can rent and where you couldn't. It's a fucking nightmare.
What kind of car was that?
Almost.
God, it was like
almost
Slutty
like
car.
It was like a 96 seat.
Okay, so 16
So-
grand. How much do you think he's got to get up to recoup that?
I mean, probably recoup the car.
Yeah.
That
Huh?
car's paid. Like as an insurance employee, I can tell you that car's like
And that
16
insur-
grand.
No, okay.
But
that's-
the inconvenience.
As an insurance person, that's probably not covered either, right? Riots and
Is it a
acts of
riot and act of
madness.
God?
no,
Well,
active.
This is
Dick bag.
absolutely
So maybe he
a
upgraded.
main question on the test, and I don't remember the answer.
You guys,
Like,
It's
you have-
civil unrest.
Do you have
It
to? I
is
was going
civil
to say, do you have to
unrest.
have a rider for idiots?
is
It
idiocy
would
an
be
act of
covered.
God?
If he has comprehensive, it
Well,
would be covered.
Because any idiot can throw a load in somebody and make babies.
Sure.
I don't know if
What?
you.
Really?
If he doesn't have
That's what-
comprehensive, it's not covered. But if he does,
Well,
I don't know
that's-
why you carry
Well,
comprehensive.
he leveled up though, is what I'm saying. So if he's got 6, he can get a nicer car.
You hope.
You
These
think?
cars are hard to find.
I don't
And
know.
if he's handicapped, could have some specialty things in it. Those things cost. Like special.
Pimp My Ride Delco edition.
If he's handy, what he's got? You just said he was driving a '96 Altima.
Well, I'm saying it could be altered. Like
Exhibit
people
coulda
have
got
like
his whole-
wheelchairs. They have like the ramps that come down and they
And a ramp.
Nice.
A ramp.
You know, kid had
He
both.
got- Dude's got a ramp in his
No, no, no.
'96 Altima.
They have like
Fucking exhibit
button-
came by and gave him a
they
ramp.
have the buttons instead of the foot pedals.
Your grandma has multiple sclerosis, so we put a PlayStation 2 in the back.
This guy's living in North.
Sorry, I can't make a joke about multiple sclerosis.
Guy living in North Philly. You think he's got Pimp My Ride? All he's all pimped
Sure.
out.
Those spinners look nice. Hold on, I gotta pull that picture.
Yeah, it's
back.
fucking nice.
Those Eagles fans tipped over your car, so we went ahead and put
Yeah.
some fuzzy dice in the mirror.
I don't think there's any lifts or anything coming out of
Popcorn
that.
machine in the trunk.
Oh, it was the triangle the whole time.
I mean, look at like these guys.
There's a whole bunch of.
That's actually not
How
that
many-
bad of a car. I
Not all them kids are from Delco.
I see 1, 2, 3, at least 4 or 5 people who should have been a blowjob. Like it's ridiculous. Ugh.
All right.
Is that about it?
Buy our
Yeah.
shirts.
All right.
I commit crimes in them.
Check out the new Delco Live store.
So hot. It's so
Yes.
sexy.
Here's
It's
just a
so
couple
sexy.
tastes of the things that you can
Look
buy
at that.
currently on sale. That says "Buy Me."
Yep.
If you want to show how Irish your Polish ass is, you buy this shirt. And
Yo, Mom, I got you this shirt. We can wear it to the 7 Fishes. Because we're Irish as fuck. I bought some Bud Light. Shamrocks, baby. Yeah. Patty's Day.
Why are you so good at that?
I know.
Because I grew up around it.
Want a
Yeah.
Shamrock Shake now?
I want to thank our
Make some nice pierogies
I
for
know.
fucking mass tomorrow.
Pierogies. Pierogies.
Babies.
Don't forget to check out
Mamma
fatcowjerky.com.
mia!
I love when Holbrook finds himself hilarious. Look at fatcowjerky.com. Utterly perfect jerky. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram. You get these delicious flavors. Also, pick up a nice little snack for your favorite four-legged friend.
Yes.
It's a great treat for St. Patrick's Day. Pasta fazool.
David R. Cherry's the man. If you get hurt at work in a car accident, somebody flips your car and you need to sue the shit out of them, you will do that with David R. Cherry. 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. And you won't get your car flipped. Stolen's Bar.
I don't know.
There's a slight chance. This guy looks like he's going to sell you a car, but BJ Dolan of Dolan's Bar, 24 East.
You want a 96, you bring it slightly used and might not have windows, but summer's coming up.
I think it's a great picture.
DolansBar.com. Follow him on all his social media. Quizzos, music, great times, memorabilia, you name it, you got it over at Dolan's. Tell PJ that, Delco Live sent you. You got nothing? Well, guys, we'll see you next time.
Pasta fazool.